Figured we'd put a video out, give some updates on what we're doing, where we're at. Now I'm sitting at the banks of the West River in Vermont, in Newfane. The campground that we're in right now is in Newfane, Vermont, and Redneck's working in Brattleboro, Vermont, which is also on the Connecticut River, right on the border of Vermont and New Hampshire. So my first little excursion, checking out the area near the campground, and pretty neat. Nice level walking. Other than right here, getting down here on the rocks was a little not that level, but manageable, to say the least. All right, moving forward. A little later, Redneck and I are going to give some breaking type news of what we're doing, but in addition to that, a number of folks had made inquiries as to what we learned, and we were total newbies to the backpacking experience. Never did it before, so a lot of the things we encountered were like the first time. So I'm going to go over a couple of them things that I thought were educational, that we learned either the hard way or just came through repetition, constantly doing it and redoing it type deal. I would say equipment wise, the thing that we learned the hard way, this would go in the hard way category, stuff definitely for a redneck, is that we didn't really have any known foot problems going into the thru hike. But in hindsight, I would just recommend if you're going to do any type of backpacking for like a thru hike or even section hiking, especially, I don't have to tell you if you already have like bouts of plantar fasciitis like Redneck is still getting over with, to get some good quality inserts for your hiking boots or trail runners or whatever they are. But we didn't know to do that this time around, and even with the Solomons I had, I were outstanding as far as kept my feet dry. They're mid boots, X Ultra. Just put them on for the first time in a little while. But their inserts are garbage, as well as the Merrells, Keens. I think added a 4 pair of shoes, hiking boots that we have, the Oboes. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but the Oboes had like the stiffer, more sturdy type insert. All the other ones are like flapping around. So highly would recommend just pulling them out. Don't even bother starting with them, and get a good quality insert that'll help against plantar fasciitis, and or just stepping on the rocks and the roots and stuff, man. It gives you extra support. Definitely recommend that. And let's see what else. I'm gonna go off here for a second. I was looking at this right here. You talk about thru hikers are crazy. Well, you got a rope goes way up there, and they got a swing. I guess when the water gets warmer, splash down in there. No, thank you. Ain't doing that. All right, back in a minute. So, going over the shoe insert thing, just a little bit. Okay, so this is my. I have a pair of Merrells. These are the original inserts, and that's it. There ain't nothing to it, man. Flimsies all get out, and I never would have thought to really investigate this. I figure I got Merrell, top of the line. I'm going to have a good insert. All right, so you got this thing protecting the soles of your feet. Well, plus the soles of the shoe. But this one, if you have a good insert here, will really go a lot further in safeguarding your heel and the ball of your foot, your arch. If you have bad arches, here's a aftermarket. I'll get it out. Of Rednecks, one of the aftermarket ones we had, and it's got like a little cushion here, and much like a Teflon. I don't know what that is, but that's hard right there. Much better support for her arch. You can see that right in the, where the arch is, and I mean that's a difference maker, man. And I don't know, we got these at REI, I believe, but yeah, $30-40 something like that for those. It's worth it. I got these for $20. I got these out in Hot Springs, and I put them in my Solomons. Now they're flimsy still, but there's a lot more cushion, at least depth in the heel and in the arch, even up here, to just provide, because after the pounding of the rocks and the roots, man, really take their toll. So even though it's a little bit more, it's better than this because there's nothing here. I mean, it's paper thin. Where the heel is, paper thin, and zero, just like a little piece of foam, man. No extra support whatsoever. But I highly recommend getting the aftermarket one right out of the gate. I mean, while you're at REI or wherever you're buying a shoe, go right there. They probably got them there. If not, get them before you go hiking. Just be done with the manufacturer's insert and go with something. This is just to add more cushion. So this is what I'm doing for me. And someone that does definitely have a pronounced issue or a known issue, moving up in the structure of the insert like this. And the one that Redneck's using right now for work is a sole insert. Same thing, but it's even a little bit more stronger, even towards underneath the toes and the ball of your feet. But these are a must-do in my book. As far as that was probably the one biggest thing that we learned. All right, guys, out later. Layering, I mentioned that. You just got, and that's different for everybody. So it's hard to. You just got to get out there and practice it. Because man, it's super inconvenient, man. If you have to, if it's cold out, and you don't have a whole lot of dressing rooms out there, and there always seems to be somebody passing by right when you're doing something that you don't want nobody else seeing. So if you can narrow in that layering, it can save time, because you've got to go in your pack, pull something out. It's a freaking hassle, and what a lot of people try and do, and myself included, is you just persevere with if you're too hot or if you're too cold, because you don't feel like digging through everything and getting what you have that you want to put on. If you can layer it so that you can just peel it off like an onion and get down to, without being too super hot in the beginning, which wasn't too much of an issue when we went out. So, but layering is a big deal. And then food, man. You hear everybody always talk about that, and there's good reasons. Food bag, huge. I'm still learning, because you just get baited into thinking, the fear of running out of food, and then you just overdo it, man. And which we did on a regular basis. Absolutely. We never made it to a point where our bag was near empty when we came into resupply. Always had a couple, 3 days, at least 2 days worth of stuff left over whenever we resupplied. So, other than maybe there's a couple big stretches here and there, and as long as you're aware of those, you might have to pack out heavy for sure. Days of food. Beyond that, though, man, you only need like 3-4 days, and then you can pop in, pop out. I would say the biggest thing for us was us. If you're going out there with a partner, in my case, Redneck, my wife, just learning how to do things together in adverse conditions. Setting up the tent in the rain, like trying to work together. I would never leave a sound. Like if she had a problem, I would always, if it was in the distance, to be able to hear her and everything. And that was important to me to do that. But just learning how to, you're in the matrix, going to work, come home, it's a couple hours. Here you're 24 hours straight, man. uphill, downhill, all sorts of challenges and unique opportunities to learn about each other and dealing with those difficulties. So that was like outstanding doing that. I'm gonna go in here and see if I get a package. Hold on. One or two other little things, and I'm done with this. And we'll get on to the announcement. Is Widowmakers, man, they are for real. It almost happened. I almost got my head squashed like a tomato. So remember to look up, you know, because we had one it hit our tent, so it actually nicked my head a little bit. You know, a couple more feet over, lights out, good night, no more Jersey. But yeah, so and it's impossible to really get out from underneath the umbrella of tree limbs. Very hard to do. All you can do is just do your best and do your due diligence to get to the best possible spot with, like, maybe younger trees or whatever. But be aware of those dead limbs up there. So it's probably in there. So as you can see, this is our equipment explosion, gear explosion, whatever you want to call it. And the big news is that Redneck and I have decided that the 320 miles I wasn't in the mood to give that back to the trail. So beans are up here in Vermont. We've decided that we're going to do I guess a flip-flop. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of that, but beats the hell out of doing 320 miles over again and going through the Smokies and all that. So what we're going to do is mid-June sometime, we're going to head up to Katahdin, Baxter State Park, and we're going to both attempt that. And when we get down from there, yeah, we're going to do that. And then when we get down the next day, Redneck come back home.
Got to work.
Got to go to work, and I will continue on south and try and make it to Nature's Inn, which is the band I got right there. Sam's Gap.
Sam's Gap
is where we got off at, and if I can make it back there, then the through hike will have been completed. So that's our big news. But we just pulled out all our gear, and we're going to go through this and cherry pick what I'll be needing, and put that in my pack over there, and then the rest will just probably put in Redneck's pack. Yeah, and there's a couple things that we're thinking about ordering online, like another pair of Solomons, and that good luck with them.
Yep.
And possibly a sleeping pad, and Redneck wants me to have some form of GPS type gizmo.
You will have that.
So we need to get that, because time's running out almost. All right, we're in the middle of May.
Gotta get going.
Got like a month. All right, guys. So that's it. That's the big news. Jersey and Rednecks are going to be back on the trail, and we are going to finish this thing
this year
in 2019. All right.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. When I stand here taking every breath with you. Ooh, you're the only one who really knew me at all. How can you just walk away from me when all I can do is watch you leave? 'Cause we shared the laughter and the pain, and even shared the tears. You're the only one who really knew me at all. So take a